The Pacific Palisades might just be the nicest area in all of Los Angeles. It doesn't quite get the publicity it deserves, but maybe that's for a good reason. Several A-list celebrities find themselves flocking to the Pacific Palisades. They call it home for its privacy, clean neighborhoods, and multi-million-dollar homes. Some of these celebrities include Bradley Cooper, Tom Hanks, Whoopi Goldberg, Matt Damon, and Steven Spielberg. The Palisades might just be more Beverly Hills than Beverly Hills itself. It has most of the same amenities, similar neighborhoods, and large mansions, some ranging upwards of $83 million. But unlike Beverly Hills, the Palisades sits right alongside the Pacific Ocean, and ocean views are a plus no matter where you live. So in this video today, we are going over all of the specific neighborhoods in the Pacific Palisades. What's up, guys? My name is Darren Kriz. I'm a local real estate agent and native Angelino here in the greater Los Angeles area. I help people every single day buy, sell, rent, and invest in property here in Los Angeles. So if that's you or someone you know, my information is down below in the description. If this is your first time on my channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about Los Angeles, well, you come to the right place. So make sure you hit subscribe to stay updated for more. Also hit the like button, it really helps out the algorithm a ton. And hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Like I said, I get calls, texts, and emails every single day about people relocating to Los Angeles, but let's get right into this one. So let's start with exactly where the Pacific Palisades is located. It's on the coast of Los Angeles between Malibu, Brentwood, and Santa Monica, and is about 20 miles west of downtown Los Angeles. There's a quote that says, if you're rich, live in Beverly Hills. If you're lucky, live in the Pacific Palisades. And those that know about the Palisades, it's a hidden gem in Los Angeles. People not from here might have never heard of it, honestly. People just see and hear of Beverly Hills, Bel Air from movies, TV shows, and they think that's the place to be. Well, in reality, the Palisades has more to offer. If you've never been out here, I highly recommend taking a cruise around the neighborhoods of the Palisades, but in this video, I'm gonna be doing that for you and teaching you a little bit about each specific neighborhood. So the Palisades has an average home price of $4.3 million and consists of several upscale neighborhoods. One of the more popular neighborhoods in the Palisades is known as the Alphabet Streets. It's mostly a flat residential area and is walking distance to the Palisades Village. The Palisades Village truly just looks like a village. It's very unique. It has dozens and dozens of shops and restaurants, as well as a movie theater, a grassy space to hang out with your friends and family, maybe bring your dog. People with young families tend to move to the Alphabet Streets when they first go as a starter home to the Palisades. And by starter home, it doesn't mean that you're paying $500,000 for a house here. The average price point is $3 million to about $5 million. Many of these homes are in the Palisades Elementary School District, which is also walking distance to the Palisades Village. So it is named the Alphabet Streets because the letters of the streets go from A, B, C, D, etc. But one downside to the Alphabet Streets, and because it is in the lower price point, lower, $3.9 million as an average price point in the Alphabet Streets, the streets are a bit more narrow than in the other neighborhoods of the Palisades, so it's going to be hard when someone is coming your direction to avoid them. You know, you kind of have to reverse or move out of the way for someone coming by you. But besides that, there's a lot of families, a lot of kids playing around in the Alphabet Streets because it's just such a nice, friendly neighborhood just north of the village. Another popular neighborhood is the Bluffs, split by Villa de la Paz Bluff homes and El Medio Bluff. It's mainly flat terraces with ocean views. Most of the homes are easy walking distance to the Bluffs as well, and it is in a convenient space in town for shopping purposes. The homes in this residential neighborhood consist of smaller bungalow styles, starting around the $3 million range, but can go all the way up to around $8 million for the newer homes. Let's look just east of the Villa Bluffs, and that is Portero Canyon Park, which they are currently renovating completely. It is going to be fully green. I'll give you some drone shots right here. Full greenery. There's going to be a river that runs right through the center of it between where the baseball field area is and some of these homes on the bluff here. Beautiful views of that park, and it goes all the way down to the Pacific Ocean, so it just makes you feel like you're not even living in Los Angeles in some of these neighborhoods in the Palisades. On the opposite side of the park, where we'll see the baseball field and the rec center, that is called the Huntington. It's a very exclusive area made up of mostly traditional styled homes. It's on the flatland as it goes all the way down to the beach and is home to more upscale families. They range from about $4 million to up to 20 million. The lots are wider, the streets are wider, you have sidewalks, which is why a lot of people, maybe you go from the Alphabet Streets as your starter home in the Palisades, then you end up moving down to the Huntington. You want to get a little bit closer to the Pacific Ocean. You want a view of the Bluffs, the park. Some of the lots can be up to 30,000 square feet. It is a small neighborhood, but it stretches down, as I said, from the beach all the way up to the Palisades Recreation Center and a few baseball fields. Keep going east, we then have Rustic Canyon, which is one of the most unique neighborhoods in all of the Palisades. You'll have tree-lined streets. Even in the summer, you can walk around the streets here in Rustic Canyon and not even feel like it's summer because you're just covered in shade, covered by trees all around you. The homes are mostly made up of architectural rustic-style homes, which gives it the name Rustic Canyon. And originally, this neighborhood was built around Uplifters Ranch. So there are many beach-style homes here as well, as you're pretty close to the ocean, but there's a good mix in with the unique custom architectural vibe. Now, the homes are probably one of the more expensive in the area, as they can range up to $15 million. But on average, you're seeing about $3 to $6 million range, which isn't too bad for the Palisades. This area is for someone that likes privacy, serenity, and shade, as I said. Even though the homes are a bit smaller here in Rustic Canyon, some of them can be on 3-acre lots. Inventory is very tough to find. You don't see homes come up on the market too often in Rustic Canyon because it is smack in the middle of Santa Monica and Brentwood, so there aren't that many homes. As you go just north, you get to the Will Rogers neighborhood, which many people might know it for Will Rogers State Park. It's a very famous and popular hiking trail, mainly because of the incredible ocean views that you'll get when you go up to the top of the hiking trails up there. I've been there with my dog a few times, and you gotta get a picture for the Instagram story, for the Snapchat, to just show people where you're living. The vast ocean views are incredible. Looks like it's never ending. You can see all the way to Santa Monica Beach, to Malibu on the right side. So Will Rogers neighborhood is named after Will Rogers, who was the largest landowner in the Palisades in the 1930s. He owned just about 400 acres, which is insane. There aren't that many homes to live in up in the Will Rogers neighborhood, but if you're a big fan of hiking, then I might highly recommend you living close to there. As you go a little bit east, then you arrive to the Riviera, and the Riviera is very popular because it might be the most expensive neighborhood in all of the Palisades. Homes here can range up to $50 million. I know there's a home right now for sale, just about $60 million. We'll see where that one lands. It is one of the more exclusive parts of the Palisades because of the bigger lots, the wider streets, the bigger sidewalks, all the A-list celebrities that live in the Riviera. And is right next to the Riviera Country Club, which is home to the Genesis Invitational that is hosted every year. I actually went last year. It is a lot of fun. Highly recommend you going and checking out. It's open to the public. It's a PGA event. The average price point in the Riviera is about $9 million, so it's not going to be cheap to live in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in all of Los Angeles. Let's move along to the western portion of the Palisades. We've got the Marquez area that features the Marquez and the Marquez Knolls. Upper Marquez Knolls offers absolutely stunning ocean views as you go higher up into the mountains. Many of the homes up here cannot have second stories, so you're going to find a lot of single-story homes here developed by Earl Latchman. He developed these homes between the 1950s and 1960s. It helps to give a lot of the neighbors a similar feel and to keep the ocean views for everyone. Many of those single-story homes have mid-century styled architecture, and the views up there offer some of the debatably best views in all of the Palisades, because you have some ocean views and mountain views as well. Price points here start around $3 million, but can go up over $10 million for some of the better views. You cannot get ocean views everywhere in the US, of course, which is why some of these homes get to be super expensive. You can make more money, but they can't build more land. There's only a specific amount of real estate with ocean views, so if you're lucky enough to have a property with ocean views, take advantage of it because the appreciation can only go up from there. If you go to the lower Marquez Knolls, it's a little bit different. You don't get the extravagant ocean views you'll get in the upper Marquez. Lot sizes are only from about 5,000 to 10,000 square feet, and the price range hovers from between $2 million to maybe $5 million. You can find some newer construction around the $4 million range, which is kind of a steal. People do desire this area because of the quiet streets, very walkable, you're close to the ocean, and it has a great school district in Marquez. If you keep going north, you'll get to the Highlands, and it got its name for a good reason because it is the Highlands of the Palisades, obviously. It's the newest neighborhood in the Palisades, and it's typically a little warmer up there because it is closer to the mountains, to the valley of Topanga, and is not as close to the ocean as the rest of of the neighborhoods down here. It is known for having several hiking trails. I think there's half a dozen or more hiking trails surrounding the Highlands area. It is one of the more affordable parts of the Palisades because there are several condominiums as well as townhomes that anyone can enjoy. If you are a smaller family and want to buy a condo or a townhome, don't want the extravagant lot yet, you're still working to build yourself, but you want to live in the Palisades because you want to be surrounded by all the good people that the Palisades and Los Angeles has to offer, then maybe the Highlands is for you. But let's move on. Lastly, we have the neighborhoods tucked furthest west in between Malibu and the ocean. We have Paseo Miramar and Castellammare, which is reminiscent to the Amalfi Coast in Italy. It has beautiful ocean views, tiny winding streets, and a lot of the street names were named after Italian names. The homes here range from tiny villas to European-styled homes. You can even find a tiny villa for maybe in the low $1 million range, which is pretty rare, but you will have limited yard space, a neighbor probably right next to you. But some of the newer architectural homes can go up to $5 million, so you do have a good price range in here if you want a little bit more lower end while being closer to the ocean. One fact about Castellammare is in 2007, the Castellammare Castle was sold for about $12 million, and that was the highest price point ever sold in this specific area. The Getty Villa is also right next to Castellammare, which is, if you guys don't know about the Getty Villa, it is a museum full of Roman and Greek architecture displayed in a recreated Roman house. It's very unique. I used to have field trips growing up in elementary school and middle school. I lived in the valley, grew up in the valley, but we would always take field trips down to the Getty Museum, and you have the Getty Villa as well, which is in Brentwood. You get unbelievable views up there. Most people know about the Getty Museum because that is the museum displayed as you are driving on the 405, so many people can see it. It's free to go. You can enjoy a nice day at the museum. You get unreal views, probably the best views, probably the best lot in all of Los Angeles. You can see all the way to downtown on a clear day, all the way to the ocean, and it's made up of several different parts, several different museums, but many people don't know about the Getty Villa because it is tucked in between Palisades and Malibu. It's a little bit smaller, but you're still getting a great day of learning about the history of the Palisades, of Los Angeles, of Greek and Roman architecture down there. As we keep going, neighborhoods to the west, you have Sunset Mesa and the Pacific View Estates, but those are technically in Malibu, so we're not going to touch on those in this video today. We'll save those for the Malibu video. All right, that was pretty much everything. I hope I could cover as much as I could about each specific neighborhood here in the Pacific Palisades. There is a lot to learn and see in the Palisades. I'm going to be making a lot more videos of specifically the Palisades in the future. If you want to see those, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button if you learned anything at all about the different neighborhoods there in the Pacific Palisades. Like I said, it's a hidden gem, and you guys might have not heard of the Pacific Palisades. If you aren't from Los Angeles, you might just know of Beverly Hills being the most prestigious area. You might want a home out there. But if you want to be closer to the ocean, I promise, you go to the Palisades for one day, and it's going to change your life if you've never heard of it before. You truly can find all you want in a home, in a neighborhood that you've ever been dreaming. Your dream home can easily be found in the Palisades. I promise you. If you don't believe me, shoot me an email or leave a comment. I'm happy to answer any questions at all. My information is down in the description below. Like I said, my name is Darren Kriz. I'm a native Angelino and local real estate agent here in the greater Los Angeles area. I help people every single day buy, sell, rent, and invest in property here in Los Angeles. Feel free to reach out anytime, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.